Greetings. Today is May 2nd, and God still has me on this seeking comfort. So, this has been a huge struggle for me, and it stems from childhood, which most of my trauma does. So, as early as the age of 5, um, I have pretty much been conditioned to expect nothing along the lines of comfort. And like as a child, I was very afraid of the dark and of thunderstorms. And I just remember having to cry myself to sleep, especially at night. In the daytime, it wasn't so bad because everyone else was awake. But usually at night, I would be the only one awake because I just couldn't sleep through it. So and there was never anyone there to comfort me. I shared a room with my sister, but she always fell asleep before I did, so that really didn't help. And then uh, I'm I'm telling my well, I already told y'all my age, but back in the um, early '90s, late '80s, there was a doll named Cricket. And Cricket, she used to have these cassettes that you put in her, and her mouth would move, she would talk, and her eyes would move. And I had a Cricket and I loved Cricket. I used to play with her every day. And then the movie Child's Play came out. And that completely ruined my relationship with that doll. I was terrified of her. I used to throw her in the back of the closet because I couldn't stand to see her anymore. But at the time I didn't understand uh, how irrational those fears were. I mean, I was just a kid. So and again, I because I wasn't receiving comfort the way I wanted to. I wanted to be held. I wanted somebody to wipe my tears and tell me it was going to be okay, or someone to come lie in bed with me or let me lie in bed with them, and that just never happened. So at an early age, I learned to expect nothing from people. And because I grew up in the South, I still live in the South. Um, People can be very huggy when meeting you for the first time. It's not uncommon for a stranger to hug you, especially as a child. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but because I never received a foundation in physical embrace or appropriate physical embrace, any kind of physical embrace, I never received any sort of grounding in that. So it always made me uncomfortable. And I eventually developed an aversion to touch that I still struggle with. But so it, I end up turning to food to feel something. That was my way of coping. And of course, at 8, 9, 10 years old, I didn't know that's what I was doing, but that's what it. That's where it started, and I've carried that until adulthood, and I'm still struggling with that now. But it was my way of self-soothing, and that's where I'm struggling with right now, because while God wants to satisfy all of those needs, you know, well, before I get to that, like He's taken away my comforts, He's taken away my vices, and now He's taking away my expectations. And the issue that I'm running into is I feel like I told you yesterday, I'm when I eat, I'm full, but I'm not satisfied. And what I'm noticing with what I want to eat is every day I always say I want something warm and hearty. And what I'm getting is what I'm needing is a hug. I need a warm embrace because I haven't had one, at least not one that felt genuine, in years. I mean, since I was a kid. Oh, hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm back. Um, Yeah, so what I'm wanting is a hug, and I'm wanting that from God, but he's he's just not giving it to me. And he's God is reteaching me what comfort is. Um so now I have to change my expectations, because what I'm wanting is not what he's giving me. He's giving me what I need, and I guess, I mean, I can believe I don't know what I need. This that's not shocking at this point. But so all of those temporary comforts um I had, my biggest struggle right now is food. So he's removing everything, and he wants to replace them with him. So my problem is he's not meeting my expectations, which is probably where I'm struggling with letting him in, because what I want is a hug, but I'm not getting what I want, and maybe that's not what I need. Maybe I mean, I don't know. At this point, I really don't know. But every every day, every download, inspiration I get from him, after I pray, after I do Bible study, it's coming back to the same thing, which is me seeking comfort. So it's now I have to, to let go of my expectations, and it's hard because now I not only am I learning something new, I don't even have a point of reference for it. And that's probably what's making it most difficult. Because usually, if I can relate it to something else, that helps with my understanding. But again, dealing with God, laying out on your own understanding. So it's just, y'all, it's rough. But what it's showing me is that I'm still healing. Um, I'm still trying to figure out what comfort is, and I still know that God is the answer. I just have to step back and let Him be the answer instead of trying to create my own answer in Him. I can't. I'm not in the business of telling God what to do. That's not my audacity or ministry. So there's still work for me to do, and it's a slow process. It's painful, but I know in the end it'll be worth it.